7 days a week. Wet ass pussy. Make that pillow get weak. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, you fucking with some wet ass pussy. Bring a bucket and a mop. Put this wet ass pussy. Give me everything you got. Put this wet ass pussy. Beat it up, nigga, catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this pussy right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top, I wanna ride. I throw a kick, what is inside? Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. Pussy is wet, come take a dive. Tie me up like I'm surprised. That's role play, I wear disguise. I want you to park that Big Mac truck right in this little garage. Drink it cream, make me scream. I don't public, make the scene. I don't cook, I don't clean. But let me tell you, I got this ring. Got on me swallow.
That is my favorite new song. That is my favorite new song of all time. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of them. You know, they're just doing it, having a good time, you know? And I don't know who Alex random numbers at the end of your name is, but no. I dance like that mostly for men and men that I'm dating. So, no. We have to talk about like creepers. I'll save that for next week. Hello? How are you doing? I am so sorry that yesterday did not happen. But I wasn't feeling good. And that's just what it is. You know, I wasn't feeling good. I wasn't feeling well. And it just sucks, you know? Oh, Alex, if I felt like banning you, I would. But if you're still looking for milk, that means you're a child. So you need to go do something with that. That's too bad. I think before I get into the day and morning activities, I'll say this. We're allowed to be free. We're allowed to dance. We're allowed to sing. We're allowed to be very, very like verbose in how we want to express ourselves. Unfortunately, it's people like that guy that probably like plays Fortnite all day, doesn't really have a job, you know, doesn't have like anything going on in their life, that think that it's okay to be a creeper. That's too bad. Hopefully he'll figure it out for himself. But ever since I did the sex show, I've had random people, men, come out of the woodwork saying really dumb stuff. Yo, like, it doesn't bother me because I know that the men that have done that have like weird low self-esteem and they realize that I would never ever talk to them ever in a real way outside of high five and shaking your hands. But like, what does that do for you? Like, that's a weird type of rejection to actually want. But let's get to the scroll. We are now, everyone, 88 days from the election. Still feeling kind of fucked. Not gonna lie. What is we gonna do? Because we'll get into it. Let me get to moments of gratitude. I'm so glad that I have friends that hold me accountable, that want me to win. I want them to win. When they win, I win. They get a house, we get a house. They get a puppy, we get a puppy. And I'm realizing more and more that there are not a lot of people that have friendship circles like that. That's really, really disheartening to hear. But, you know, like having a winning circle around you that's growing and not staying stagnant means so much to your, it adds on to your self-esteem. It adds on to your overall wellness. It adds on to everything. And, you know, you can have a group of friends that might see you as being inspirational because you might work out a lot, or you might make certain moves, or you might do certain things. But like, it's really important to have a circle of people that want you to win in your life. Especially now, especially being like at a certain age, or just like being an adult. And, you know, during this time, especially in the pandemic, I've let a lot of friendships lapse. And I have no problem saying that I've done that, because there are people who may not want to see you win. Rain, I owe you a phone call. Please pick up your phone when I call you today. You have to make sure that you have people that care about your well-being, supporting you, and being in your life. If you don't have that, evaluate your circle, and it's okay. You don't need to hold on to people that are just secretly jealous of you or outwardly jealous of you. Because if they're secretly jealous of you, they more than likely are jealous of you. And the idea that women don't support women is a joke. The idea that men can't support men is a joke. But there are people out there that will try to sabotage your wins and sabotage your energy about doing things and being a winner. And as we get ready for what will be another season of us ending up back in the house, I know everybody's celebrating New York for doing stuff, but y'all are still out here acting like COVID is over and wearing masks around your elbow and making it a part of hair ties. Like, I don't know why you're doing that, but there's already been a couple of restaurants in my neighborhood that have had to shut down because they can't keep crowd control. So, like, for good, like, we'll never see these restaurants again. One of them being Caribbean Star. And Caribbean Star, I think, had the most mid-jerk food I've ever had in my life. But if you order the jerk salmon, and if you're a chef and you're a cook like me, you know, you get it, you fix it, you do what you got to do, then it's good. But, you know, who am I? But have a winning circle and make sure people want you to win and want you to thrive in your life. You might miss it if you're not paying attention. So I just want to put that out there. News you need to know. So remember when we said Apple wanted TikTok? Well, your boy, oh boy, has now signed an executive order talking about banning Apple, and not banning Apple, apologies, banning TikTok and WeChat. WeChat are both based out of China. WeChat has been around for a while and very, very, very popular. There's also Sina Weibo. Like, if you're in the space of knowing digital and social, you know these other platforms that exist. There's a social platforms for Russia. There's social platforms for Brazil. There's social platforms for South America, like a lot of that. TikTok does take more information than usual apps. But again, if you were here on Wednesday, you learned that Trump was like, if anybody buys TikTok and makes it a U.S. portal with the U.S. run operations, that the Treasury wants part of that deal. I don't know why this man thinks that that is like legal. But again, y'all who are mostly probably not my audience got this motherfucker in office. So he don't need to be here. But also what we don't need is your boy Joe Biden making things more difficult. Joe, let's talk, okay? Let's just talk for a few seconds. Why would you do this? Now, I know that there's a percentage of y'all that said, you know what? I like this guy because he hung out with Obama. Doesn't make sense. This is also the same people that thought that because Bill Clinton played a saxophone on the Arsenio Hall show that he was down. Y'all, like, I am a Simone Sanders person who's aware. And I know that she's doing this thing as part of being part of his team. Somebody has to literally do a diversity training for Joseph Biden. Someone needs to give him a diversity training. And I'm not talking that one-time diversity training with the video that doesn't work, that nobody like really pays attention to. But my God, like, does he know that this is not it? Because this isn't it. To go into more detail as to why this isn't it, like, I don't understand why he did, like, it's just not a good look. Well, here's what he said. Well, you know what you all know, but most people don't know. Unlike the African American community, you dumb idiot. With notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community with incredibly different attitudes about different things. Joseph, oh my God, it's 88 days into the election. You know, I don't know, y'all. Like, so Arlene, not even, he's on an off-road mountain with, I'm just waiting for Joe Biden to use the word colored. And then it's going to be over. I still have, I'm still hedging my bets on your boy in office saying the N-word and everybody just letting it go. So I still have like $50 on that in a personal pool with a bunch of friends. So, you know, y'all don't want to know about that. Another thing that's really interesting is I read this story about, you know, catching COVID on a flight. And there's a study that came out of a professor at MIT who did research kind of trying to break this all down. And I'm going to read this all out to you, and hopefully you see what it is and, you know, you find it somewhat intriguing. So we're talking about the fact that if you, like, the odds of catching COVID on a flight are slim, according to this researcher. Now, the thing about research is that someone could put out something and research it, and it doesn't mean that it's gospel truth. It doesn't mean that it's like the truth of everything, right? But it's an interesting study. And as someone who is dealing with lack of wanderlust, and I know there's a few of us that love to travel and we're not, I just want to kind of like encourage you to read this and check it out. But what is being said by Arnold Barnett, a professor of management science at Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Now, also, there's a lot of backdoor deals that happen with research studies. Sometimes research studies are made and lobbied with secret money to be a part of a way to drive a certain agenda. But what Bartlett came up with is that we have about 1 in a 4,300 chance of getting COVID on a full 2-hour flight. That is about 1 in 4,300 passengers will pick up the virus on average. The odds of getting the virus are half that, 1 in 7,700, if airlines leave the middle seat empty. He's posted his results as a not pure yet reviewed preprint. Now, what that means is that, and if you have a chance to look at this preprint, I strongly encourage you to do so, because I know a lot of people that are on this like, yo, fuck this. I want to go on a trip. I am tired of being at home. First world problem, blah, 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 blah. This is posted on medRxiv. And this just goes into the study. There's an abstract. Like, I get into reading stuff like this because of what I do with cannabis and herbal medicine, because you have to always kind of like read a deeper study to know how to guide people. But I encourage you to check this out. Again, if you want to read this because you want to consider Like, I've been talking about doing a group trip to Jamaica for Labor Day weekend for months. And I more than likely am going to do that with one person or no people, because I need a break. Give me a break. So check it out. Now, the real thing I want to get into, because to me, this is groundbreaking. And also, if you caught me this morning where my nipple slipped out, not going to be able to edit that out. And I'm not afraid of my nipples being on camera. So there, when I was shaking it up, like, respectively shaking it up. Because if I really was shaking it up, I think I'd be in trouble. Y'all, everything about this is amazing. I love this video. I love it. I love it. It's great. I'm so glad that Cardi and Meg did the song. The song is called WAP, which stands for Wet Ass Pussy. The video does Wet Ass Gushy, or Wet and Gushy, which is like, the censored version for all you kids out there. This is great. I'm much like everybody else when I saw Kylie was like, oh, this girl's walking down the hall with her made up black body that she bought and paid for. Whoop-de-woo. But like this is amazing. I'm so excited. And I do not know, like, it's great. I absolutely love it. I'm so excited for everything that this video. Oh yeah, there goes there the girl go. There she is. There goes Kylie. I don't even like. I'm so like not watching the Kardashians. I just be like, yep, there they go, just doing whatever. But this video is cute. It's really cute. So if you're like me and you have a private collection of stripper wear and dominatrix wear, which I do have, and no, I'm not going to show it to y'all unless I do a show about BDSM. Y'all don't deserve to see me looking sexy like that. Y'all ain't. None of you people, men folk, are hollering at me, and nobody. I'm not looking for anybody over 42. So, just a heads up. We are going to get. So this video is great. I can't play the music because rules. But it's really, really fun. I really hope you get into it. I'm just saying they really could have just done without Kylie and Rosalia. I didn't know who the girl was, Kylie, until you just said it. Thank you for helping us. Each one teach one, my sister. We are now going to get into our special guest. She's like batting her eyebrows, like, I don't know if she has on eyelashes or she's doing like this. I have lashes on. Look, I am so excited to be able to have a friend on who's doing amazing work. Now, there are a few other friends I want to be able to bring on. One is going to be Sarita. Another one is going to be my girl Sabria. And that'll be happening through the rest of the month. But I really want y'all to get into the world of what my girl does. And then I want to show you a trailer of how her work is just like part of this industry called film, television, and music video. Some of you might know Charlize Antoinette. Most of you don't, because she'd have way more followers on IG if you did. So you need to follow her on the Instagram. We're going to add her in. Welcome to the show.
Hi, can you hear me?
I love how you did.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You sound really good.
Okay, good. I put my AirPods in. I found them. You saw me running around looking for them, right?
I really feel like Steve Jobs would have gave us an alert system for AirPods, but Tim Cook was like, "Oh, you're on your own. Like, tough cookies. I've just really, there need to, I don't know. I figured there'd be more innovation around me being able to find my AirPods, but you know, what can you do? Anyway, y'all, Charlize Antoinette comes from a highly experienced fashion background, not just as a stylist or as a surveyor of fashion or someone who knows that people in LA can't dress, but she also has worked on numerous projects within the film, TV, and music video space, costuming and wardrobe designing what you see people wearing. So for y'all that are like, oh my gosh, like Michael B. Jordan immediately knew to wear that, wrong, that's not true. And for the trailer that I'm about to show after this, I'm going to try to like have Charlize explain her vision for how she, you know, mood boarded this out. You'll understand more about how this industry works and also what she's doing on her own to profile more Black and brown creatives. So Charlize, take it away. And if I said anything wrong, correct me. Because, you know, I'd be thinking that you do everything and you'd be like, no, I do this. And I'd be like, but you could do this though, right?
No, that was good. I am a costume designer, and I costume designed a movie when the trailer dropped late last night, called Judas and the Black Messiah, and it's about the life of Fred Hampton and the betrayal of Fred Hampton. And so for that project, I had to dive really deep into research because it was about real people and it was about a particular time in US history that was very, 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 very volatile and, you know, fast-paced, changing. And so I was really blessed and lucky to be able to have all this film footage, all these photographs. You know, luckily that time period in history was very well documented. So a lot of the looks in the trailer, the looks in the film were almost exactly what these real people were wearing or characters that were based on real people. So, you know, I just think it's important to stress that, you know, if you are interested in a career in costume design, research is your best friend. Like, you better be a research nerd. You better, you know, love spending hours and hours and hours researching a particular subject, a particular era of dress, a particular subculture who dresses in a particular way. So, you know, in the case of the Illinois Black Panther Party, they wore a lot of these camo green World War II jackets that they probably got at the army surplus, right? You know, it's the 60s. So what would have been vintage to them is World War II camo jackets. You know, and we just felt it was important to make a distinction, the director and I, between the Illinois party and the Oakland party, because, you know, normally what we see is images of Panthers wearing leather, and it's true a lot of Panthers wore leather, but I just thought it was really dope when I started diving into the research how a lot of the Panthers in the Illinois party wore these World War II jackets. And it just made it feel like they were ready for war, you know, and they were training. And so they wore military garb. They also wore French berets, a lot of these French berets, which is different than like the Green Beret style with the card. So you'll see in the movie, there's different kinds of berets. They're not one style. There's even some, you know, bigger, fuller tam style berets as well. So, you know, the French berets are like the shorter berets. And Lakeith's character wears those a lot. So, you know, we really dived into the research and really using these source photographs of Fred, you know, of Deborah, whose name is now Mama Akua. I recreated a lot of the clothes, like, and I'm talking, we designed the textiles, printed the fabric, you know, cut and sewed the pieces. So, you know, a lot of stuff is very, very, very much based on the photos and the source material and the research. So, yeah, that's basically a little bit about, you know, the process of research and, you know, procuring and gathering. We got the clothing that we didn't, you know, custom design and build. The clothing came from all over the country. It was a big logistical undertaking. So we had a shopper getting things in Atlanta, getting things in Cincinnati, getting things in Cleveland. We got a lot of pieces from LA. We got some pieces from New York. So the clothes came from all over the country. We had over 120 cast members and over 1,000 background address total.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a huge movie.
Let me ask a couple of questions.
Yeah.
How much is that? How much money is spent on something like this? Like, what's the budget that, you know, like a studio give you a budget, will tell you to stay within these constraints, right? So budgetary wise, what is that? Like, how much is that?
I don't know if I can say this publicly, but it's not as much as you think. I'm just gonna say that.
I'll take it.
Yeah, it's
I'll
not
take
as
that
much
answer.
as you think. When they gave me my budget, I was like, y'all got to give me more money because it was a huge movie.
So this isn't the first thing you've done. So while I'm gonna show the trailer to give people context a bit, but what I want you to be able to talk to after seeing the trailer is just like, I want people to see how what she's talking about vision wise comes to life on screen. And then I kind of want to get into the work you've done, because I want people to understand, my friend, is that you've been here working hard as shit. And I've been witness to you like crying about how hard you had to work, you know, the hours you've had to like put into something. So I want to just like get into that and then have you get more into like the spice of like everything that you've had to like consider given this career. So I'm going to get to the trailer. Hopefully nobody will shut me down for showing this. But I'm going to.
Uh-oh.
I'm so proud of you.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
This is your first time seeing it?
No, I saw it last night, but you know, it's so important as Black people to be a part of projects that shape our history and talk about our history. And you know, I'm just proud of you because you've been doing so much more work, you know, and yes, that's beautiful. Yes, that takes a lot of time, 100%. But, you know, I always want to see people that I care about receive their flowers now, every day, you know. So, you know, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of extras. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of time in Cleveland.
Yeah. I know.
Cleveland, like you were in the Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah, I mean, and I do want to state that I couldn't have done that by myself, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, like it took a team of people who were dedicated and working really, really, really hard um every day, you know, all day, 12 plus hours a day. You know, we all were committed and dedicated to the project. And you know, in the case of this film, as much as I would have loved to have like an all black department, it just wasn't possible given like where the project originated and where we ended up shooting. But I, you know, I had a fair amount of black people in my department, and people who weren't black were like-minded. They were also equally as passionate about telling this story. So their hearts were in the right place. So I think it really shows when you watch the movie that everybody involved, you know, in the entire crew, like their hearts were in the right place. They all were passionate about telling the story and telling the story and giving honor and respect to Fred Hampton's memory, you know? And so I think that's why the movie and the trailer is as amazing as it is, you know. But the production designer was very passionate about getting it right. You know what I mean? The props department. I mean, we sat and designed all those buttons together, you know, and redesigned all those Panther buttons and Free Fred Hampton, and you know, we based them on, you know, imagery and source material. But you know, like that's how detailed the project was. Like I sat down with the graphic designer and design textiles and design those buttons that you see them wearing on the jackets, you know, because we couldn't, you know, copy exactly all the artwork and logos. You have to modify it a certain percentage. So yeah, like it was a very detailed process, and I'm very grateful to have worked with people who cared as much as I did about the details, you know.
How many projects do you have under your belt? Just like
This is my 10th film.
10th film. How many
Hmm.
television projects?
As far as TV, I've designed 2 TV shows.
So with the process of TV and production, let's just start from the beginning. How
Mhm.
does someone, and we talk about this, like the racism that exists in all industries, right?
Mhm.
And you know, like there are people that have been doing costume designing for forever, that have received some shine as of recent, right? Within the past like 3 years. But, you know, honestly, given your experiences and just kind of like what you've had to endure, and I know you put together a workshop for the guild that you're part of, for folks to talk more about this issue. You know,
Mhm.
how do you get into this with all of the items that are considered, the discrimination, the way you have to fight and advocate for more budgets, the way you have to fight and advocate to be seen and to be risen up through the ranks? Like, what is that process like?
I mean, honestly, the only way I can be where I am today is by having people who advocate for me and believe in me. So, you know, I think it's important to find those people and connect with those people and, you know, treat them well. You know, it's a two-way street. You know, if you find someone who's an ally and advocates for you, like you need to do the same for them. And so I've been really blessed and fortunate that I've had people, you know, see me for who I am, a talented costume designer, and say, hey, you know what? Here's a job I think you can do. Here's, you know, and refer me for work. Otherwise, I don't really know how I would be able to be seen and to get the opportunities that I have. It really takes people seeing you as a talent first and not looking at you and just making assumptions based off how you look and be like, oh, I don't know if she can handle that because, you know, she's a young black woman. And it does happen, you know. I'll get the job because someone, you know, is an ally and advocates for me. And then when I walk into the job, there'll still be people there who will look at me and make all kinds of assumptions and have all these inherent biases and you know, treat me a certain way based off that, and go as far as to like micromanage me and damn near sabotage me. And I'm so used to it at this point that know how to like conduct myself. I know how to like, you know, make sure I have a paper trail, you know, via email. And you know, and because I know how to do all those things, nine times out of 10, I've been able to, withstand any trials and, tribulations that may happen based off of people's inherent biases and assumptions of me. So it does, it really does take people believing in you and not making assumptions about you based off of how you look. And I would just hope and pray that through this time and after this time, we're more mindful of that, and particularly people who are in positions of power, of all races, are more mindful of not making assumptions about, people based off of how they look or their age, and correlating that to whether or not they can handle something or talented enough. Because that is the issue. It's all these inherent biases that we have to undo.
With that being said, I also know you did Raising Dion. I just have it playing in the background, there that is. Like, and you did this, this was all set up in Atlanta. And I also noticed that Macro is doing a lot of this like forward moving content. And I know that that's a studio that like you work with, and Charles has been really supportive of Black content creators and having Black teams and trying to make all those things come together. So do you think that's made a big difference too? Like making sure that Black studios, Black productions, Black figure leaders are jumping into the front like this in order to like progress careers?
Absolutely. Yeah, because without people like Charles King or Ryan Coogler, who are, leveraging the power that they have to give opportunities to Black people in front and behind the camera. And, and in Charles's case, he's giving opportunities to Latino people, Pacific Islander people, like it's across the board. He's really tapped into the fact that this is needed in Hollywood. So, just representation and diversity and inclusion across the board, in front and behind the camera, and this telling this people's stories, telling people of color stories, Black people's stories, in a way that is authentic and comes from them, and it doesn't come from an outsider who thinks this is how, this particular group, lives or thinks, um, loves, etc. So, I have to give him a huge shout out and a lot of love for doing that, for leveraging, his power and, putting his money where his mouth is and all of it. And I have to give props to Ryan Coogler as well for leveraging his power, like he did Black Panther and used that as the springboard to produce, this project and give us opportunities, give, Shock an opportunity to do his first studio film. And so, it's very important that as we climb, we lift, and, I try to do the same thing. I try to mentor people. I've helped several people get into the union, Black people, people of color. And I just continue, and I've been doing that my whole career, I've been doing that since the beginning of my career, to be honest. I wasn't like, I have to wait until I win an award to help other people, because that's not what it's about. It's like once you're in a position of power, and for me, once I became a department head, a costume designer, I had power to help people. I had power to, I had power over hiring, and that makes a difference. And it's tricky because, like, we have to be careful. There's there's a lot of legalities involved when put a call out and you want all of anything. And so we have to be really careful as we're doing this work and trying to make our departments diverse, that we don't break the law. Because you can have like a serious lawsuit on your hands if you don't handle it the right way. So, and it's tricky because it is needed, like we do need to hire more Black people, and we need to hire more people of color. And I just want to be clear, like I'm making the distinction between Black people and people of color for a reason. Because and I even hate that, like I'm lumping all the other races into people of color as well. But I just feel like I need to make a distinction and not lump Black people with people of color. Like I know BIPOC is the new acronym, but It's different. So our struggles are a little different. There's a lot of overlap, but there are some differences. So
And so I would love to kind of like also highlight, I showed a couple of additional projects you've worked on from See You Yesterday, Raising Dion, and I do want to make sure we get into the Black Designer database that you started, which is like an amazing project. You're pretty much, you've pulled designers from this database for your films too, right? So I'd love for you to talk about like this and the power of it, and how people can support the evolution of it.
yeah, so I started Black Designer Database last year with a survey. I was finding that every time I started a project, and particularly a project that had, Black people and people of color as leads, I wanted to be able to find, you know, unique pieces, interesting pieces that fit the certain characters. And it wasn't always, readily available, at the mall or, you know, at like high-end boutiques and high-end stores. Like sometimes you need to find, original and unique designers as a costume designer, because otherwise we're all kind of going to the same places, especially when you're doing contemporary, because you don't always have time to build costumes, particularly when you're doing television. It's so fast paced. You're doing a lot of shopping when it's contemporary television. So I was already building a database. I already had spreadsheets of contacts, and I had a spreadsheet of Black designers already that I was pulling from and using from. And I've had that spreadsheet for probably like the last 5 to 8 years that I've been using. And I also had other spreadsheets of my other contacts, right? So, but I was finding like, wow, I've been using kind of the same people. And I wanted, especially on See You Yesterday, I used like everyone that I knew, you know, on See You Yesterday, because the majority of the clothing in See You Yesterday is Black designers, and Black designers, vintage, and then a couple mainstream stores that, we shopped at for that movie. And then also we had Adidas send us product, we had Nike send us product, and Levi's. And so I spent the budget on the Black designers and used all the promo that Adidas, Nike, and Levi's sent for free. So the most of the budget went to paying for Black designers to make custom items, paying for the merchandise outright, paying an artist who did all the hand painting on all of their clothing. So anytime you see like these really cool hand painted hieroglyphs, Malcolm Emilio, Stay Relevant on IG, he did all that. He painted Sebastian sneakers, and the sneakers were sent from Nike for free. They were white Air Maxes. Malcolm and I sat down and designed it together, and he painted on them, and I switched the laces out, put some Rasta laces in it, so they look like some like fresh, sneaker that Nike made, but Nike didn't make it. Me and Malcolm did. So, like just being really creative, because like we didn't have a big budget on that movie. And, the best way to be creative, I felt like, was to collaborate with Black designers to design clothes for these kids, Black kids in Brooklyn. Like what, we even went to Shabazz Market, the pants that CJ wears when they're doing the time jump, those printed pants, those are from Shabazz Market uptown. So, I tried to be really authentic when building these characters, and like thinking about where they would actually shop and go and stuff like that. I mean, even down to like some of her t-shirts are from Spencer's, because she's like a teenager.
Yeah.
So after that movie, I was like, damn, I need new contacts. I need new people. And I put a survey out and was like, hey, I'm a costume designer. And, I love using Black designers for my projects. I'm about to start a new project. I was starting Astronomy Club. And that was a Black sketch comedy produced by Kenya Barris. It's on Netflix. And so I was about to start that project, and I was like, damn, I need some new Black designers. Because a lot of times when I get hired for projects, people ask me outright, whether it's the cast or the director or the producers, hey, do you have access to Black designers? And I'm like, yeah, I do. So I put this survey out, and I didn't think much of it. I was like, hey, looking for more Black designers. I put it on my Facebook. And like within 24 hours, I had like 200 new entries of people I'd never heard of before. And like the vast majority of them were amazing, you know, and I was just really excited. And they weren't all t-shirt brands either, because I think a lot of times, like, you know, the assumption is like every Black designer or clothing line is like t-shirt brands. You know, there's suiting in there, there's a lot of jewelry, menswear, women's wear, you know, gowns, children's. So the database, I have decided, especially because like recently, you know, Beyonce and Zarina Anchors did Black Parade, and that's more consumer focused. So I've decided to stick with like the original plan, which was to make this database industry focused and a service for designers and costume designers and stylists to connect. Because, you know, a lot of times, you know, we want to use Black designers, but maybe they don't have like a particular thing in a particular color that, you know, it fits our color palette. But if you can connect with them directly, they can make it for you. So that is the evolution of Black Designer Database. It started off as a survey, and now it's going to be an industry focused tool for designers and costume designers to connect. And because, you know, largely everyone who signed up to the database was like, I want product placement. I want my pieces in movies and TV and film and, you know, on celebrities. So, you know, that's what the focus is getting these designers exposure. Also gonna start doing some like, you know, mentorship and training. I'm working with a colleague who does product placement in the industry on a class, like how to get your stuff placed, you know. So that's our lane for Black Designer Database, and I'm really excited about that because, you know, it's needed. Like a lot of people don't know how to connect those dots and how to
Mhm.
find costume designers, and some costume designers, you know, are good at finding, you know, designers, but a lot of times we don't have a lot of time, you know, so that kind of like cuts that out.
I'm so happy for you. I want everyone to please follow Charlize. I would love for Charlize to stay for our next segment, which is going to be called Favorite Distractions. So if you didn't hear how amazing she was, you can play this video back on YouTube. I'd like more subscribers, please, because I think I'm going to stop doing this on Facebook in September. But you know, I want you to stick around for the next one. I know you'll enjoy it. You know, I always find the foolishness on the Instagram, but this is my favorite foolishness because what it does is it makes us not look crazy. And what that is Karen's Gone Wild.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. You know, I really enjoy it because, you know, white people be crazy. So we don't know why, but y'all just are upset about these masks, and y'all are just mad about people going to get their car washed. Like, you're mad about people's, you're just, I don't understand, like, how, like, look at the anger in this man's face. Like, he doesn't like the way she dressed. Look at his, first of all, let's get into the fashion of a Karen or a Kevin, Charlize. What fashion is happening here? Tell me what this is giving you. Like, let's get into it.
Is he wearing camo shorts?
He's wearing camo shorts. He's more than likely wearing Morel shoes.
Oh, he shops at Cabela's. That's giving me Cabela's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Giving Cabela's.
Definitely. Yeah. Let's get into some more fashion. So what is this guy giving you here? This guy right here. What is he giving you? What is the look?
Is that a visor? Like,
yes, that's those are Oakley sunglasses, which are typically
Oakleys.
Yeah, they're Oakley. Yeah.
Okay, he's giving me, man, he's giving me like futuristic hunter vibes.
Okay.
And yeah,
okay.
Like futuristic hunter vibes. So very 2020. Yeah.
Very 2020. Okay.
Very 2020.
Let's talk about this woman who is overdressed. So she has on a long sleeve shirt and a vest
with a bubble
shirt, but there's also a shirt underneath the long sleeve shirt.
Oh, she's giving us like I wear Patagonia 24/7, 365.
Mm.
No matter what the season is, I'm wearing Patagonia.
So she's giving us the D-Ray.
Yes, she's giving us the Karen D. Ray vibes.
She's giving us Karen D-Ray. Okay, let's get into some more looks that we're seeing here. Now, are these extensions? Because I feel like
Yeah,
these are
I think so.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
not a hair expert, but that's two different types and colors of hair happening right here.
Could it be a lace front?
It could be a lace front. I don't know why people think that white women don't wear wigs. They do.
Okay. Yeah,
Everyone wears
I think
wigs.
it's going in that direction. There's so many fashion things that you can get from these looks. Now, is she going to the Hamptons or is she going to Walmart? What's happening?
Walmart. This is giving
Walmart?
me Walmart. Yeah. Does she have a string of pearls around her neck, or is that lacing?
That's lacing. She
that's
it's like
definitely
lace like a
Walmart.
shoe going down her outfit. Yes.
I thought
That's
it
what
was like she tried to class it up and like tied pearls into a knot. You know how women.
No.
do that.
And that was really nice of you to think that she was doing that with her fashion.
Well, you said Hampton, so that's why I thought she had pearls instead of.
And you know what? I can see why you got that confused. Let's talk about this look. Now, this is normally the look that we often see, right?
Yeah.
We get, you know, there's a hat. He might drive a Harley.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. You know, is he what look is this? Like, where is he going? Like, where do you,
this is just like your standard stereotypical like redneck kind of vibe. You know, like if I was designing a character and they were like, you know, like he's a redneck, that's what I would do.
Redneck. This is typical redneck vibes.
Stereotypical.
Okay? Very typical rednecky vibes. Okay, let's get into what's happening here now. The hair. She is wearing she has a mask on. I feel like she's complaining about wearing a mask.
Mm-hmm.
With the mask on. It's a lot of pink. She's matching the top knot tie with like is she overmatching? Is this what you call overmatching is she doing too much?
You know, the first thing I thought when I saw this was like, she must love Britney Spears because this is giving me Britney Spears vibes. Like
I see what you're saying.
like circa late 90s, early 2000s. You know, when
so
did
is this like I'm stronger than yesterday? Is that
I'm talking even further back, Britney, like Britney when she first came out with the baby. Remember she had the ponytails and the clips and you know, like this is giving me Britney Spears vibes. She must love Britney.
Okay. So, but her age is definitely like in her 30s. But she
just like when Britney came out, she was like, "Oh, that's my lane and that's my look," and she never changed.
Okay, I got it. I see what
she
you're
never
saying.
changed. Yeah,
that's fair. Absolutely fair. And you know, thank you for going on this journey with me because this is important. We need to know these looks in advance so that we know how to identify what is happening. So let's also get into like a couple of looks that are what's this?
This looks like someone who's definitely like a survivalist or a prepper preparing for the apocalypse.
Okay. Okay.
It's hard for me to see. I don't know why my screen's so small. It's because I'm on my phone. Yeah, that's definitely giving me like some prepper vibes. Some prepper and saboteur vibes, you know, like that's definitely a person that will like pull up to a protest and start breaking windows and run away, like the umbrella guy.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
I think they all kind of converge in a Venn diagram, you know, the preppers, the survivalists, and the what do they call them? The antagonists, protest antagonists.
Yes. I mostly look at this for the looks. I just want to know what looks are coming at me if they're going to say some crazy racist stuff. I just want to be, you know, like really aware into the fashions and, you know, what's happening.
I mean, you kind of know, like, if I see most people wearing things that are like really outdated and not even that, like, the clothes are like raggedy or anything. I'm just talking like straight up outdated. Like where like your thinking already is back where your clothes are, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Charlize, where can people find you and absorb all of your knowledge and support you?
You can find me on Instagram. It's at Charlize Antoinette, spelled exactly like it is on the screen. And where else can you find me? Mostly there. I mean, I don't post as much as I should, but I do. I'm very active in my stories, and I'm going to try to be more active in my feed. I've just been really, really busy planning a lot of things right now. But I promise that now, since this trailer has dropped, because sometimes it's hard for me to post a lot until like the trailer drops or the projects are out, because I'm not allowed to like talk about my work until that happens. So now that it's out, I'm gonna show like some process stuff in the next coming weeks, and probably, periodically leading up to the movie being released next year. Hopefully February, God willing, the Rona doesn't keep hating on us. So yeah, I'll be releasing some more like process behind the scenes stuff between now and then.
Thank you for taking time to come on this morning. I know you were up late,
Thank you.
and so was I, and we're here.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you, and I'm proud of you. Please follow Charlize. She did not get to all the things that I would have talked about, such as her jewelry line.
Well, I'm wearing it. It's behind me.
Where can they find you?
I have a jewelry line. Char Ant Gold, at Char Ant Gold. It's just abbreviation for my name, CHARANT Gold. So yeah, you can find me on IG. charant.gold is the website. And what else am I doing? Black Designer Database right now is available on my website, charlizeantoinette.com. If you want to sign up or sign anybody up, the form that Mary was showing earlier was on my website. We're still like coding everything, and really excited because we've decided on the branding and the logo, so it's coming together really cool. So I'll make sure I make an announcement when it's out, and just make sure you guys sign up for email lists through Black Designer Database, so you can be kept abreast as to what's happening. And what else do I have to talk about? I feel like that's it. Oh, Sunday, I'm doing a panel for anyone who's in the industry with Costume Designers Guild about the experiences of Black costume designers, particularly during this current climate with Black Lives Matter being an international protest and focus, and also, COVID and going back to work and all that. So, yeah.
Thank you. I'm proud of you. I'll see you more than likely Monday at the Bike Fix training. And also we're part of a cool bike club. I mean, I'm not going to tell you all about it because y'all might not be cool enough to be a part of the cool bike club. But if you see us riding around, you got to have a bike to join. So that's like, you got to have a bike. So that will help you to bike in the bike club. Thank you. I love you. Have a beautiful, productive day.
Thank you.
I will see you soon.
Yes. Bye.
Bye. Yes, I know we're over. Okay. Thank you for sticking around. What is coming next week? I don't know. But what my plan is that I'm going to finally be able to talk about some cannabis stuff. I hope that I'll be able to talk about the farm visits that we have coming up on Monday with interview with a hemp and cannabis farmer. And then Tuesday, we're going to get into a conversation about tinctures galore. This, y'all, is my morning regimen. So I'm going to have an expert on to talk about that. Not no Instagram Hotepi Shaka Bar shit either. We don't do that here. I know y'all love to follow, boho people that have no sense, but we don't do that here. Okay. Have a great weekend. I wish you all health. Please wear a mask. Please don't play yourself. I want everyone on here to have fruitful, amazing, healthy lives. And I thank you for rocking with me. Please subscribe to YouTube. I'm more than likely going to be trying to do more work on YouTube. Thank you. You are loved. You can donate on Venmo. I want to be able to keep doing this and buying new fancy things. Someone told me my mic was trash. I got a mic. I might even do some hits. I might even hit y'all with a couple of hits. Y'all don't know. So, the more that I'm able to get all these contraptions so that y'all don't talk about me and my audio, the more that I will hopefully get people that are interested to give me money. Because I don't want to have to start stripping on the beginning of every show so that y'all just start tipping me via Cash App. So I love you all. Thank you for donating so far. And I want you to have a productive, fruitful, and restful recovery weekend. Peace, love, and Oyer Scout. Bye.